Now let's come back to that home program thing, because I think that's a really important thing. One of the key things that the program needed to have was that it was something that people could do at home without, like we're here in Matt's gym, and we've got lots of really expensive gym equipment here.
Yep.
But we wanted to create a program that didn't have that.
Yes, we did. This time we have probably gone even further with that. We started with our first program is a full bodyweight program, requiring no equipment whatsoever. And the design of that is just to improve your quality of movement and try to get your movement patterns up to a better rating, if you want to put it that way.
Better rating, and we'll talk about ratings a little bit later on.
And then with our more advanced programs, we understand that those that take their cycling seriously and get into higher levels of competition will generally spend more time with what they do off the bike than what they do on the bike as well. So we have added in a little bit more equipment, but nothing that's not accessible by most people.
Yeah, exactly. So you don't need an expensive gym to do this program, and that's really, really important. And that really comes back to it, because a lot of people think strength training, big heavy weights, in a gym, personal trainer yelling at them, go harder, go harder. And the problem that we found with that, because I've got clients that come to me and they say, oh look, I'm doing the strength training program, and I always ask them, what are you doing? Because in a lot of cases they'll go into a gym, there'll be a personal trainer there that doesn't really understand much about the relationship between the athlete's personal requirements for their sport and the sort of exercises that they're delivering. Usually the personal trainer's got this preconceived idea of the sort of exercises that are good exercises, but they don't really relate very well to the sport that they're doing. And we get that a lot. The client will go into a gym, the personal trainer will set out a whole lot of these exercises, they'll absolutely smash the client, they're not able to back up their training sessions the following days, 3 or 4 days, because their legs are so smashed or their arms are so smashed or whatever. And firstly, they haven't achieved, they haven't done the proper strength training, so they haven't really gotten the result that they wanted. And they've wrecked themselves to a point where they actually can't ride their bike properly as well. So it's kind of a real double whammy, and a lot of that's come from this whole bodybuilding mentality, trying to apply the bodybuilding methodology to bulk up muscles and stuff to a sports athlete that's running an endurance-based event. Now, don't get me wrong. Like I've seen Anna Meare's program. We were down at Sassy, got the opportunity to see Anna Meare's program, and certainly, her program is fairly aggressive. The sprinters will spend 50% of the time in the gym. They work on one machine, which is the leg press. It's a modified leg press, and they back it up with a whole lot of supporting core strength exercises, which is really important. But the thing is that they're specifically training an athlete to develop huge amounts of power for a very short period of time. Now that's great if you're a sprinter, but that's not going to help you get to the end of the race. Get to the end of the race, right? It's not going to help you for an event that lasts more than a few minutes. And for a lot of people that we've got on the program, those sort of exercises are not relevant to an endurance-based athlete.
No, correct. So look, there's quite a few factors there. The energy systems that you're demanding of a sprinter are totally different to that of an endurance athlete, of course.
I think it lasts about 20 or 30 seconds. Don't quote me on that, but that's the energy system.
But still, even an endurance athlete at some point may need to sprint.
Oh, of course.
So there may be a requirement at some point to have that element in there. And you can modify those, factors within a program if you need to. But generally speaking, if we're talking endurance cyclists, yes, they need more time to be able to develop strength and, endurance through the legs and through the core and all that sort of stuff. And
good function as well. That's really important. And it comes back to, I used my training partner, Olaf, he used to be a bodybuilder. And he was absolutely surprised that I could out-sprint him any day of the week. He was, here he was pumping big weights, and yet, look, I'm an endurance-based athlete. I'm not known for my sprint, and I was able to out-sprint him. And and he actually went to the gym and he pushed bigger weights. Right? That was his solution to the problem, was to push bigger weights. So he got onto the machines and just pumped away at them. And I was still beating him. And it wasn't until I said to him that you need to get off those machines and you need to start working on more free weights more functional strength, multi-jointed exercises.
Yeah.
And surprisingly enough, when he did that, suddenly he was able to beat me. And to this day, Olaf can beat me any day of the week. He's just a phenomenal, just because he changed what he was doing in the gym. All right. So again, we come back to that whole thing. It needs to be related to the exercises that the exercises need to be related to the sport that you're carrying out. So.
Yeah, we have a principle we follow, which is the SAID principle, which is specific adaptation to implied demand. So the closer you can get an exercise to look like the activity you want to perform, the greater transfer it's going to have. And even with the exercises we do, because they're not on the bike, the translation is only going to go so far, all right, but it's going to have more effect than doing a leg press or a sit-up or a prone plank or whatever you want to do in a traditional format.
Yeah, and that's really important because a lot of people don't have a lot of time.
No.
Right? So, if you're going to go to a gym or you're going to do some exercise to help build your strength, you want to have an exercise that gives you the best possible result for the least amount of time, right?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, that makes sense, doesn't it?
A lot of sense to me.
Why
waste your time?
Why waste your time on something the thing is that you'll come back from the gym doing the wrong types of exercise, you'll feel smashed, you'll feel like you may have gotten a good workout, but the problem is that you won't be getting any results transferred onto the bike, so you get frustrated. I know what it's like. You get frustrated, I'm doing all this work, but it's not improving my cycling. So that's really what we're really focused on, making sure that the exercises are related.